Welcome to my first movie talk segment. I'm Cody Reed, host of Movie Read Views. Ooh. So anyways, Movie Talk is going to be a segment where I just talk about movies, maybe answer some questions if I get some emails. Come on, send them in. And this time I'm going to talk about Interstellar, which I just reviewed this past week. Go to my YouTube channel to check that out. And this one I should start off by saying it is spoilers. It has so many spoilers in it. I'm going to be talking about my favorite scenes in Interstellar. And so of course it's going to have spoilers. I don't know if I could say that enough. Do not watch this if you haven't seen the movie, unless you want to be ruined by the spoilers. So anyways, when thinking about my favorite scenes, or like the best scenes to me from Interstellar, one of the first ones that comes to mind, of course, is the two different planets they visit in the middle of the movie. The first one being the one with the giant wave. It was awesome! Having that giant wave, seeing it, especially the first time I saw it in IMAX, and then I did see it a second time recently in a normal theater, but especially in IMAX, having that giant wave just coming out and seeing it, man, that was amazing. And then the second one, with the ice planet that they were on, especially seeing the frozen cloud and them hitting the cloud and them fighting, and you can actually see some of the clouds from the top, and on the bottom of the screen you could see ice, so it looked like something from Inception where there was mountains on the top of the screen. That was amazing. And going back to the first planet with the giant wave, you just really have that sense of danger with them having to get back to the ship, and Tar's helping them with that, and then trying to escape, but then that feeling of being stranded there after they get waterlogged, that was just so suspenseful to me. And then, well, spoilers again, Matt Damon, who's in the movie, when he's on the ice planet and they come to save Dr. Mann and to examine his planet, when him and Matthew McConaughey are fighting on the ice planet, and oh man, and when Matt Damon shatters or smacks McConaughey's helmet, and all of a sudden there's a crack in it and he's trying to cover it up so that he can live and survive and breathe. And for a second there, with Christopher Nolan, I figured the movie had something to do with time and space, and so I thought that they might actually kill off Matthew McConaughey and maybe bring him back through some kind of time-space thing, but they didn't. So I was wondering at first they were going to, actually kill him off, but they didn't, which is good. But even that scene, just with him trying to breathe, and Dr. Mann couldn't look at him, he was leaving them there to die. What? Are you kidding me, Matt Damon? But it was still one of my favorite scenes. Next, you can't mention the scene unless you aren't human and you don't have any emotion. The scene with Matthew McConaughey watching his children as they age. So first you have his son, and it shows him talking about school or something, and then all of a sudden you cut to another video of him when he's 23 years older, so he's in his 30s and he has this beard and he's older. When I saw that, I was just like, what? And then you're waiting for Murph to show up on the video. You're, come on, Murph, come on the video. And then she finally does, and you see her as she's older, and you're just like, oh my goodness. And especially Matthew McConaughey, when they're showing his face close up and him crying. I mean, one of the best scenes in the whole movie, at least to me, one of my favorite scenes, showing that emotion from him, and one of the best acting moments from him in the movie, I thought. A couple other scenes to mention that I thought were great were the two different wormholes. I guess they're both wormholes. Or the first one's the black hole, where they mention it's kind of like a black sphere in space and they have to travel through it. And okay, so you're looking at this and it just envelops you. The whole scene envelops you, especially when you're looking at the screen and all the stars are passing by and they're flying through it, and there's all this weird matter flying by them, and that just kind of envelops you. And then the second one, when they reach that, maybe it's a wormhole, I can't remember, something in space where it's gargantuan, that gigantic, almost looking like Saturn, but gigantic, and it was red and yellow looking, and they had to pass along it, and it was doing this thing. I mean, that was just amazing. When I was watching that, it felt like I was in the movie, something on Space Mountain, where it's just you're in space and everything's enveloping you, and they have to travel along this. And both of those were amazing, especially to watch in the theater and just being enveloped by the sound, the music, the visuals, just awesome. Lastly, and there are so many other scenes to watch, I mean, the ending was at least great to me. There were some plot holes with it, but the ending when he's in the fifth dimension, the dust storm at the beginning, when you're especially hearing the sound, all the dust storm, maybe some other space scenes when they're leaving and having that transition and the countdown, and then it transitions them into space. There are many of those. So finally, the last scene that I thought was just great was when they had to chase the Endurance space station as it was flying through space. As we know, Matt Damon, his character, comes and he's talking, and then all of a sudden the cabin or whatever gets pressurized and he gets sucked out and dies. First of all, that scared me, because he was talking and then all of a sudden he shot out. And then, so they're chasing the Endurance space station, and it's spinning like this, and all the debris is flying everywhere. My eyes were just glued to that scene. All the debris is flying everywhere, and they also have to come here, and they're chasing it, and then they're both spinning like this, trying to like hook up to the bottom of it. Seriously, like I said, my eyes were glued to it the entire time. One of my favorite scenes, along with the two wormholes or the black hole, wormhole kind of stuff, and then the emotional scenes and some of those planet scenes, some of my favorites, but of course there were others. What were some of your favorite scenes or best scenes in the movie? Feel free to leave a comment and let's keep talking about this movie. And anything goes in this one, because this is spoiler free. Anyone can just talk about anything about the movie. And so yeah, I hope you like this. And go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/movie reviews, to look at my actual review of Interstellar, along with one that I just did for Big Hero 6. Thanks so much for watching. Happy viewing.